Me, 38, creative director at indie game studio in Austin, Texas. Making $135,000 base, plus equity in the company, stock options worth potentially millions. Company is called Apex Studios. We make multiplayer action games. Mid-sized independent studio, 85 employees, publicly traded on NASDAQ since 2 years ago. Stock ticker is Apex, currently trading at $42 per share. My equity stake is 2.5%, worth about $3.2 million at current valuation. We're known for our flagship game, Vanguard Legends, competitive hero shooter. Think Overwatch meets Valorant, fast-paced tactical combat with diverse characters. Game launched 3 years ago, currently has 2.8 million active monthly players. Generates about $45 million annually from cosmetic sales and battle passes. I joined as lead designer 5 years ago when company was small startup. Promoted to creative director 2 years ago when we went public. Responsible for character design, story development, game balance, creative vision. Report to CEO, manage team of 25 designers, artists, writers. Been riding high on success of Vanguard Legends for years now. Game has loyal player base, active esports scene, steady revenue. Players are mostly male, like 85% male demographic, typical for competitive shooters. Some toxicity in community, usual gaming stuff, trash talk, and complaints. But overall player base is engaged and spending money consistently. Past year, I've been more vocal about representation in gaming. Pushing for more diverse characters, feminist themes in our content. Latest character release was Athena, powerful female warrior with feminist backstory. Her voice lines include things about smashing patriarchy and female empowerment. Some players complained it was too political, keep politics out of games. I responded on Twitter that games have always been political. Got into arguments with some players who said they just want fun gameplay. Told them if they can't handle strong female characters, maybe gaming isn't for them. This has been escalating over past few months, more friction with community. October 15th, we're announcing new character. Her name is Artemis. She's designed as ultimate feminist warrior, leader of all-female faction. Her entire character is built around challenging toxic masculinity in game world. Voice lines about how men have ruined everything. Women will fix it. Ultimate ability is literally called Destroy the Patriarchy. Marketing team is nervous about the presentation, think it's too aggressive. I tell them this is important representation. We're making a statement. CEO Michael Chun, 45, asked me if I'm sure about this approach. Don't we want to avoid alienating our core player base? Our core player base needs to evolve. Gaming culture needs to change. But 85% of our paying customers are male. Then maybe we need different customers who appreciate progressive content. Michael is uncomfortable but trusts my creative vision. We announce Artemis on social media. Reveal trailer drops on YouTube. Immediate backlash from community. Comments are brutal. This is pandering SJW garbage. Keep your feminist agenda out of our game. Stop playing Overwatch for this reason. Not here too. Trailer gets ratioed hard. 15K likes to 89K dislikes in first 24 hours. Community subreddit explodes with negative reactions. Players threatening to quit, demanding refunds, review bombing the game. I'm watching this unfold and getting angrier by the minute. These entitled male gamers can't handle one feminist character. After years of hyper-masculine power fantasies, they melt down over representation. October 16th, I decide to respond on Twitter. This is the tweet that changes everything. To all the man babies crying about Artemis, we don't need you. Vanguard Legends is moving forward without toxic male gamers. If you can't handle a strong woman, uninstall and leave. We're building a better community without your fragile masculinity. Tweet goes up at 2 p.m. I'm feeling righteous, standing up for what's right. Within 1 hour, it has 50K quote tweets, mostly negative. Gaming influencers are screaming about it on YouTube. Apex Studios creative director tells 85% of player base to leave. Tweet gets picked up by gaming news sites immediately. Vanguard Legends developer. We don't need male gamers. My mentions are flooded. Thousands of angry responses per minute. Players posting screenshots of uninstalling the game. You don't need us? Fine, we're gone. Twitch streamers who played Vanguard switching to other games on stream. If they don't want us playing, we won't play. By 6 p.m., the tweet has 2M views and still accelerating. CEO Michael calls me into emergency meeting. What were you thinking with that tweet? I was standing up to toxic masculinity in gaming. You told our entire player base to leave. I told toxic players to leave. There's a difference. 85% of our revenue comes from male players you just insulted. He's panicking. I can see it in his face. Delete the tweet. Issue an apology. We need damage control. I'm not apologizing for standing up for women in gaming. This isn't about standing up for women. This is about destroying our business. I refuse to delete the tweet. Double down instead. October 17th. Wake up to complete chaos. Gaming subreddits have organized mass boycott of Vanguard Legends. Hashtag uninstall Vanguard is trending on Twitter. Players posting videos of themselves deleting the game. Steam reviews getting bombed. Rating drops from 85% positive to 42% overnight. Active player count is dropping rapidly. Can see it in real-time analytics. Yesterday, we had 2.8 M monthly actives. Today, it's 2.1 M and falling. That's 700K players gone in 24 hours. Unprecedented drop. Revenue dashboard shows cosmetic sales down 68% from previous day. Battle Pass purchases completely stopped, basically zero sales. Michael calls another emergency meeting with full executive team. CFO Sarah Martinez, 43, presents the financial damage. We've lost $2.8 million in revenue in 24 hours. Player retention is collapsing. Servers are emptying. Stock price opened down 18% this morning on the news. She shows real-time stock chart. Apex down from $42 to $34.50. Company valuation dropped $45 million in one day. My equity stake lost $1.1 million in value overnight. VP of Marketing, James Park, 39, shows social media analytics. The tweet has 8M views now, mostly negative sentiment. Brand reputation score dropped 62 points. We're trending for all the wrong reasons. CEO Michael is furious now. You need to apologize publicly, right now. I'm not apologizing for calling out toxic behavior. You called our customers man babies and told them to leave. That's not calling out toxic behavior. That's corporate suicide. CFO Sarah adds hard numbers. If this trend continues, we lose $35 million in annual recurring revenue. That's 78% of our total revenue. The company can't survive that. But I'm stubborn, convinced I'm right. If we cave to these toxic gamers, we're part of the problem. We need to stand firm on our values. VP of Community, woman named Rebecca Torres, 35, speaks up. I've been monitoring community channels. This is bad. Players aren't just mad, they're organized. They're planning coordinated review bombing, refund requests, mass exodus. She shows Discord servers with thousands of players organizing. Boycott Vanguard. Server has 45K members in 24 hours. They're making guides on how to get refunds, alternatives to play instead. Influencers with millions of followers joining the boycott. October 18th, situation gets worse. Stock opens down another 22%, now at $26.88 per share. Down 36% total from before my tweet. Company lost $90 million in market value. My equity stake now worth $2.1 million, down from $3.2 million. Lost over $1 million personally. Active player count down to 1.4 M. Lost half our players in 3 days. Major esports organization announces they're dropping Vanguard from tournaments due to instability in player base and developer hostility toward fans. This is huge. Esports was major growth driver for the game. Sponsorship deals are being canceled, partners distancing themselves. Game streamers removing Vanguard from their content rotation. My viewers don't want to watch it anymore after the developer drama. Revenue is in complete freefall, down 81% from baseline. Michael calls board meeting. I'm summoned to explain myself. Board of directors is 6 people, mix of investors and industry veterans. Chairman is venture capitalist named Robert Graham, 58, very serious. Walk us through your decision to post that tweet. I was responding to toxic harassment of our new character. By telling majority of our customer base to uninstall the game. By telling toxic elements they weren't welcome. Do you understand the financial impact of your statement? Sarah presents updated numbers to the board. Stock down 36%. Market cap down $90 million. Player base down 50%. Revenue down 81%. Projected annual revenue dropped from $45 million to $8.5 million. At current trajectory, company is insolvent in 11 months. Board members are looking at me with disbelief. One board member, woman named Patricia Moore, 52, asks pointed question. Did you consider the business implications before posting? Or did you prioritize personal activism over fiduciary responsibility? I prioritized the long-term health of the community by destroying the company in 3 days. Another board member asks about recovery plan. What's your strategy to win back the players who left? I don't want to win back toxic players. You don't want to win back 78% of company revenue. I want to build better community with progressive values. With what money? Company will be bankrupt before you build new community. Robert, the chairman, is direct. The board has lost confidence in your judgment. We're voting on your removal as creative director. Vote is unanimous, 6-0. I'm fired effective immediately. Escorted out of office that afternoon with box of belongings. 5 years of work, all the success I built, gone in 3 days. October 19th, company issues public statement. Apex Studios announces departure of creative director. Company remains committed to serving all players. Leadership changes made to restore community trust. Stock bounces slightly on the news, up 8% to $29. But damage is already done. Player base is gone. Even with me fired, players aren't coming back. They feel betrayed, insulted, abandoned by the company. October 25th, 1 week after my tweet, final damage assessment. Active player count stabilized at 980K, down 65% from peak. Monthly recurring revenue down 73% and still falling. Stock trading at $24, down 43% from before the controversy. My equity stake worth $1.5 million, lost $1.7 million in personal wealth. But I'm fired, so the equity will vest over time at depressed prices. Realistically lost about $2.2 million in total potential value. Esports scene for Vanguard is dead. All major orgs pulled out. Streamers moved to other games permanently. Community that remains is small, bitter, demoralized. November 2023, I'm unemployed, searching for creative director roles. News has spread across gaming industry. Everyone knows what happened. Creative director who told players to uninstall, stock crashed 43%. This is what appears in every Google search of my name. Can't get interviews at any major studios. Recruiters are direct when they respond at all. Studios are nervous about your public statements and business judgment. What you did at Apex is seen as career-ending mistake. No one wants to risk their player base on controversial creative director. 3 months unemployed, burning through savings. Austin rent is expensive. Unemployment doesn't cover my lifestyle. Finally get offer through connection. Junior designer at small mobile game studio. $62,000 salary, no equity, working on match, 3 puzzle games. From $135,000 creative director with $3.2 million equity to $62,000 junior designer. From leading team of 25 on major competitive shooter to matching colored gems. Complete career destruction in 3 months. Meanwhile, Apex Studios continues to decline without recovery. January 2024, they announced layoffs, 35 employees cut, 40% of workforce gone, including people I hired and mentored. Stock drops further on layoff news, now at $18 per share. Down 57% from before my tweet, $142 million in shareholder value destroyed. March 2024, Apex Studios announces they're being acquired. Larger publisher buying them at distressed valuation. Acquisition price is $4.80 per share, 89% below the pre-controversy price. My equity stake that was worth $3.2 million is now worth $384,000. Lost $2.8 million in personal wealth from one tweet. But I was fired, so I don't even get the $384,000. Equity was forfeited. Acquisition goes through. Apex Studios brand is retired. Vanguard Legends gets shut down completely. Servers closing. Remaining 850K players lose the game entirely. All because I told the player base we didn't need them. And they proved me wrong by leaving. June 2024, I'm 39, still working as junior designer at Mobile Studio. Making $64,000, designing Candy Crush clones for casual market. See LinkedIn updates from former Apex colleagues. Some got jobs at other studios, some left gaming entirely. All of them were affected by my decision to insult the player base. Run into Michael Chun, former CEO, at Austin gaming event. Haven't seen him since I was fired. It's incredibly awkward. How are you doing, he asks, being polite. Working as designer at Mobile Studio, smaller scale projects. That's good. Glad you landed somewhere. Uncomfortable silence. Then I apologize. I'm sorry for what happened at Apex. I destroyed everything. Michael is thoughtful in his response. You were trying to stand up for your values, I understand that. But you didn't consider the business reality or consequences. You told our customers we didn't need them, and they believed you and left. He's exactly right, they took me at my word. How many people lost jobs in the layoffs? 35 in first round, another 28 when we shut down after acquisition. 63 people total. Most were able to find other work eventually. Every one of them lost their job because of my tweet. What happened to Vanguard after I left? We tried to win players back, issued apologies, brought in new creative lead. But players didn't trust us anymore. They felt insulted and rejected. Revenue never recovered. Player base kept shrinking. Company became unsustainable, had to sell a huge loss. He shows me final numbers on his phone. Shareholders lost 89% of their investment. Including employees who had stock options, they lost everything. All the value we built over 5 years, destroyed in 3 months. This is devastating to hear laid out so clearly. I thought I was fighting for representation and progress. You were fighting, but you forgot we needed the players to survive. You can't insult your customers and expect them to keep supporting you, no matter how righteous you feel about the cause. Michael continues with hard truth. The character, Artemis, she wasn't the problem. Players were upset, but they would have adapted. It was you telling them they were man babies and to leave. That turned disappointment into exodus. You gave them permission to quit, and they took it. He's absolutely right. I escalated from disagreement to destruction. What's happening with Vanguard's IP now? Publisher shelved it. Too toxic for their brand. Everything we created, all the characters, world building, years of work. Just sitting in a vault somewhere, probably never to be used. We talked for a few more minutes. He's remarkably gracious, considering I cost him his company and probably millions personally. After he leaves, I think about the full scope of damage. $142 million in shareholder value destroyed. 63 people lost their jobs. 8 players lost a game they loved. Esports careers ended when tournaments shut down. Content creators lost income source when game died. All because I sent one tweet telling players we didn't need them. September 2024, 1 year after the tweet, see industry retrospective article. The tweet that killed a game studio. Apex Studios post-mortem. Article details the complete timeline of collapse. Quotes former employees about the culture and decision-making. Features interviews with players who left and never came back. Includes statement from esports players whose careers were disrupted. Financial analysis shows how quickly revenue collapsed. Marketing experts discuss it as case study in brand destruction. One quote from players stands out. I spent $400 on cosmetics over 2 years because I love that game. When the creative director said they didn't need players like me, I felt personally rejected, so I left and never looked back. Another player quote hits hard. We weren't even mad about the character, just disappointed. But when developer told us to uninstall if we didn't like it, we did exactly that, took our money elsewhere. Article's conclusion is brutal. Apex Studios is textbook example of how to destroy a successful company by prioritizing ideology over customer relations. One tweet cost 63 jobs, $142 million in value, and a thriving game community. All because a creative director forgot who paid her salary. Comments on the article are ruthless. Get woke, go broke in real time. This is what happens when you insult your customers. Feel bad for the employees who lost jobs because of her ego. My name is mentioned throughout as cautionary tale. The creative director who killed her own company with one tweet. October 2024, 2 years after the controversy, I'm 40. Still working as junior designer, making $68,000 at mobile studio. Never getting promoted, stuck at entry level despite experience. Because everyone in Austin gaming scene knows what I did. My portfolio includes creative director credit on Vanguard Legends. But recruiters see that as negative, not positive. That's the game that shut down after the developer controversy, right? Former colleagues from Apex have moved on to bigger roles. Lead designers at major studios, creative directors at new companies. They rebuilt their careers. I'm still stuck at junior level. Because my decision didn't just hurt me, it defined me. The industry remembers me as the person who destroyed a company, not for bad game design or technical failure, but for telling customers we didn't need them. See announcement that Michael Chun is CEO at new gaming startup, raised $15 million in funding, building new competitive shooter. He recovered, rebuilt, moved forward successfully. Meanwhile, I'm designing Match, 3 mechanics for mobile games. Think about that tweet constantly. The 280 characters that destroyed everything. To all the man babies crying about Artemis, we don't need you. 4 hours after posting it, I could have deleted it. Issued apology, walked it back, saved the company. But I was too proud, too convinced I was right, too focused on standing up for my values to see the cliff I was running toward. And 2. 8M players believed me when I said we didn't need them. They left, took their wallets, their time, their passion, moved to other games that wanted them. While Vanguard Legends died, slowly from my self-inflicted wound. Now I'm here, 40, making $68,000 designing mobile games. Lost $2.8 million in equity value personally. Watched 63 people lose their jobs. Saw $142 million in shareholder value evaporate. Witness community of 2.8M players scatter to other games. All because I couldn't handle criticism of one character. All because I chose to insult rather than engage. All because I told our customers we didn't need them. And learned the hardest way possible. That companies need their customers more than customers need any one company. That you can't build a business on telling people to leave. That being right about representation doesn't matter if you're wrong about business. That one tweet can destroy 5 years of work and 85 jobs in 3 months. Still believe in representation in gaming. Still think diversity and inclusion matter. Still support feminist themes in game narratives. But now understand that you can advocate for those things without destroying the business that makes them possible. Without insulting the people who fund your creative vision. Without telling your customers you don't need them. That's the lesson I learned after losing everything. After my career went from creative director with millions in equity to junior designer making $68,000 with no prospects. After the company I helped build went from $240 million valuation to $4.80 per share acquisition and complete shutdown. After 2.8M players went from engaged community to boycott Vanguard movement that killed the game. All because I sent one tweet in a moment of anger, telling male gamers we didn't need them. And discovering that yes, we actually did. We needed their $35 million in annual revenue. We needed their engagement in streaming and esports. We needed their passion even when it came with criticism. But I didn't realize that until it was too late. Until the stock dropped 89% and the company was sold for scraps. Until I was unemployable as creative director. Until Vanguard Legends shut down permanently. That's what I live with now at 40. Former creative director who destroyed her own company with 4 hours of trending hashtags and one tweet that lost $142 million while trying to stand up for representation, but forgetting to respect the people who made it all possible, the players who paid for everything, until I told them we didn't need them, and they proved me wrong by leaving, taking their money and their passion to games that wanted them. While I lost everything fighting a battle that didn't need to be fought that way. That's my legacy in gaming industry. Not the characters I created or stories I told, but the tweet that killed the studio, the stock that dropped 89%, the 2.8M players who left when I told them to, and the career that ended at 38. Because I confused activism with business suicide, standing up for values with insulting customers, being right about representation with being wrong about everything else. Now I'm here, designing mobile games for $68,000. While the industry moves on without me, while former colleagues advance past me, while Vanguard Legends exists only as cautionary tale about what happens when you tell your customers you don't need them and discover that you actually do, but only after losing everything, to learn that one simple truth. Too late to save the company. Too late to save 63 jobs. Too late to save my career. Too late to save anything. Except the lesson itself, which I learned by destroying everything I built. With one tweet and 4 words. We don't need you. Yes, we did. And by the time I realized it, they were already gone.